Outside Northern Rock branches all over the country. Customers were desperate to get their money out. It was a classic run on the bank.
The queue came right along here from the entrance, round into Hood Street.
In Newcastle, Veronica Craig was trying to persuade people she'd known for years not to abandon the Rock.
I was walking up and down this queue talking to customers I knew personally and saying, what on earth are you doing? And they were saying, well, it's all the money we've got.
Some had arrived at dawn, a few with hundreds of thousands of pounds each in Northern Rock accounts.
I think they're going to run out of money altogether.
It is just a colossal shock. I don't think I'll ever trust the banking system in this country again.
They'd be crying, I'd be crying. Some people would say, well, I just got off the bus and saw the queue and I thought I better join the queue. It was really, really upsetting.
This was the trigger.
One of Britain's biggest mortgage lenders needs emergency support from the Bank of England. Northern Rock has problems raising money because of the crisis in the financial markets.
It was the first run on a British bank since 1866.
Customers are being told not to worry.
The BBC's Robert Peston broke the news.
There is no suggestion that this business is fundamentally bust, but merely running out of money in this way for a bank is extraordinarily serious.
The way that I got the story was really old-fashioned journalistic detective work, that I was confident I had all the pieces of the puzzle and I would be able to report that, you know, they were going to the Bank of England, as I say, cap in hand, to be propped up.
The Rock had been flying high. It was lending around a fifth of all the mortgages in the UK, but it was running out of money.
The reason was the Rock's business model. Instead of borrowing from its customers, no thanks, to finance its mortgages, it was getting 75% of its money, thank you, from other banks. But in August 2007, those other banks turned off the taps and hung on to their money.
The cause lay on the other side of the Atlantic. The US banks were panicking. For years, they'd loaned billions in mortgages and house prices were going down. It was a ripple that turned into a tidal wave.
There's a saying that when the tide goes out, you soon find out who isn't wearing trunks. Well, in 2007, US house prices crashed, exposing millions who couldn't afford to pay their mortgages. Well, the banks had huge bad debts, so they stopped lending to each other. 4,000 miles away, the Northern Rock and its staff soon paid the price.
So why Northern Rock before any other bank in Britain? We approached a number of very senior insiders to get their version of events. Only one, who wishes to remain anonymous, would talk. The insider claims the problems in America happened just as Northern Rock was trying to get one of its regular loans from other banks.
If it had been a month later, Northern Rock would have been able to borrow the money it needed. It would have been in one of the strongest financial positions at that time.
Whether or not it was that simple, it led to the collapse of Northern Rock. And a lot of pain. Stephen Gill. Once he worked for Northern Rock, until the run.
What was a run on the bank? I've never even heard the term run on the bank before that day. Didn't know what to make of it, didn't understand it. There was a lot of nervousness about, you know, we were trying to do our work, but at the same time, we're looking at the BBC News website to see what's happening to the share price.
Soon, the heat was on. The Rock began a 3-year programme of job cuts. The workforce fell from more than 6,000 to 2,000.
Staff at Newcastle-based Northern Rock today learned the bank wants to cut a further 680 jobs. Unions describe the news as appalling.
When you start seeing people who have been there a long time and you know they are good at their job suddenly get made redundant, you start feeling then nobody is safe. I was scared for my job, yes.
Stephen took redundancy.
There was too much uncertainty. I didn't know if there was an end coming or not, just by chance that this place came along, and it's only around the corner from where I live as well. So I just had to take the plunge and see if I could do this. So
if the bank had survived, would you still be there?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I was there, I think, 12 years, and I enjoyed every single one of them.